This is your chance.
Hi, I'm Juanita Santiago, and you're watching the Everlasting Love program. Did you know that 1 in every 3 girls and 1 in every 6 boys are sexually abused by the time they turn 18? You were only a child when you learned adult things. You felt sad and confused when they said it was your fault. You never told anyone. You were always told to hush until now. This is a quote from the book Hush. It's the true story of author and speaker Nicole Braddock-Bromley, a victim of 10 years of childhood sexual abuse by her stepfather. Our host, Barbara Karpuzian, sat down with Nicole on the campus of the Moody Bible Institute to hear her story.
Juanita, thank you for that introduction. Nicole, I am so happy to have you on the program. Our program is called Everlasting Love because we're always interested in helping people to understand how much God loves them, and that no matter what situation they may have encountered in their life, that God is willing to reach down and to draw them to Himself and to bring healing and hope for their lives. And your book, which is called Hush, Moving from Silence to Healing After Childhood Sexual Abuse, is a really powerful book, I think, and very relevant for today. And I want you to go right into your story. I don't want to take up a lot of time. I want you to share what happened to you.
Sure. Well, I grew up in a small town. Pretty much everyone who knew me considered me the perfect girl from the perfect family. I was real involved in school, in athletics. I was the homecoming queen, class president. You know, everything looked really good in my life. My parents were very well respected in our community. But as time went on, this mask, this perfection that everyone was seeing from the outside was a mask. It was covering up a lot of hurt and shame and confusion that I held inside. I was too afraid to tell. My stepfather had sexually abused me for close to a decade of my childhood, and I finally found the courage to tell my mom when I was 14 years old. My mom, unlike a lot of the stories that I hear from young people all over America, actually believed me. I'm so grateful for that. She believed me. She protected me, reported it. We were in hiding because I knew that if my stepfather found us, he would kill us. And 7 days later, he committed suicide.
After Mom reported it?
Yes, after we reported it. And yeah, that was a really hard time in my life, obviously. But as I look back, I am so glad that I found the courage to tell, because I really believe that breaking the silence, that telling your story is the first step to healing. And I'm so glad that I told that day.
But it took you 10 years.
It did. You know, my stepfather told me growing up that this was normal, that all good dads do that for their special daughters. You know, that if I ever told, no one would believe me anyway, because I was just a little girl, and he was a very popular man in our community. So there was so many things that caused me to think that, you know, this was a secret that I had to keep. One, because I felt responsible to hold my family together. And two, because, you know, I didn't know it was wrong. I grew up, no one spoke about things like this when I was growing up, and I didn't know it was wrong. I loved and trusted my stepdad. I didn't really have a reason not to, and so I believed every word he said. And I think that that's a problem across America, especially even today, that it's the secret that we're keeping. People don't want to talk about issues like this, but I believe that it's not going to stop unless we do speak up about it. So I'm so glad to be on the program today.
Yes, I'm glad you're here too. So let's go back then and to the very beginning of your story, because I think that it's really important for those that are listening to understand how abusers work. And so you explain it so well in your book, but take us back there.
Well, I think that for most children, you want to believe that the adults in your life should be trusted and that they would never do wrong. And oftentimes it's not the stereotypical abuser that we assume, you know, this dark, scary, dirty man. It's not that. Stereotypical abuser doesn't look like that. They are actually well-respected men in the community, very involved, hold high-ranking positions in authority. So we oftentimes don't assume that something like this could happen from someone, especially in our family, you know, and that's a big problem. We've got to educate children earlier. You know, I needed people to come in and tell me what sexual abuse really was. When I was in 5th grade, there was a woman who came to our school from the sheriff's department and showed a video about childhood sexual abuse. And I remember watching that video and thinking to myself, this really seems a lot like what's happening to me. But in my mind, I thought, no, something like that could never happen in a family like mine.
Yes.
You know, so I almost pushed it out of my mind as soon as it came in there.